Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching and thanks for subscribing. We appreciate your support. Today we wanted to make a video for those who have just gotten a 2021 Model S or are going to get a 2021 Model S. It doesn't matter if it's, effectively the Plaid or the standard long range version. It doesn't matter. This is the same. So we wanted to make this video to help educate and understand what's missing from this UI, what's different, and how do we transition properly from our previous legacy Model S to this new Model S interface. All right, so stay tuned for that. Okay, we're back talking about the new interface on the 2021 Model S, understanding what is missing. Where are the things that were there before that you're familiar with, and where are they now? So whether you're coming from a Model 3, a Model Y, or if you're coming from a Model S or an X, this video should help you and help understand what's missing from our perspective. Obviously, Tesla can release a new update that would totally change the game, but as of this video, if you're getting that Model S by then, within this time frame before they release a new major update, here's what to look forward to. So first and foremost, we're missing the static icons here. Static icons that will be at the top for your profile, your notifications, your connectivity, be it Bluetooth or LTE or Wi-Fi. We're missing those static icons up at the top. All right, so if you're looking for those, here's where they are. They're actually in the menu. You go in the menu and here's where that content is, right? So here's your LTE, here's your Bluetooth, here's your notifications, here's your home link as well. That's another one that was missing. And then your profile, all right here in the menu, okay? I don't know that I'm a fan of that. I think it's an extra press to be able to see information that was readily available to you on the screen. And I really wish Tesla would bring some of these back. We have tons of real estate here on this beautiful screen here. Even if some of the apps can overlap on top of those, that's fine. I think it's still valuable being here at a glance and at a moment's touch versus being buried in the menus where you have to click on it and then you can get to these respective icons. All right, so that's one thing that's missing. Another thing that's missing from this main screen, sort of the map base, if you will, for the Tesla interface, is the superchargers. Superchargers would typically be down here as a button. That's part of the menu items for the map, where you have satellite on and off, you have the traffic, and you have points of interest, right? You would also have an option for the chargers, which would allow you to press it and get to those specific chargers. They've removed that for some reason on this screen, and it's no longer there. I don't think it's a big deal to add another button. Just extend this menu out and add another button. But effectively, they've moved it. And now we got a scenario where you have to actually go into the navigation menu, okay? Go here, and now it's in charging. And now you can specify whatever your filter is for level 1, level 2, or superchargers. And you can get access to that information right there. All right, so that's what that is. Again, just an extra press where it doesn't really need to be an extra press, in my opinion. All right, so that's what that is. The other thing that they moved or is missing from our perspective is that Dashcam / sentry mode icon. Again, one of those static icons. That button is also not here, but instead is down here, right? So being able to press for a Dashcam recording or being able to see if your sentry mode is active or inactive resides here. Yes, you can do it through the app in terms of sentry mode, turning it on and off. That's fine. But I want to be able to see very quickly whether it's on or off just by being in the car. Okay. We do have a app that you can dock here for the Sentry Cam viewer or the dash cam viewer, but not to actually take a dash cam footage. You have to use either the honk for dash cam, or if it's an emergency, it actually automatically happens if you have the option available to you, but you don't have an option to actually press the button other than going into the menu and pressing this button right here to record some dash cam footage. And I'll go ahead and hit that. Okay. It's going to record that dash cam footage. That's the way you do it. Again, just an extra press where it really doesn't need to be. We have so much beautiful real estate here. And just by the way, I love the effect of sort of dimming and blurring the background, adds real focus to the screen. So good job, Tesla, on that one. And good job with this screen overall. It's a beautiful screen. All right, but under the safety menu, you also have the ability for having dash cam, auto, and honk. Those features are still the same. Sentry mode is still the same, but you can toggle it on and off through here. But again, just extra menu items. So if you're looking for sentry mode, or if you're looking for the dash cam viewer, or even actually the dash cam button itself, it's actually here. I'm going to show you another way that you can access it through the voice commands. I'll say that for another video, but for now, that's where it is. One of the other things that's missing that's huge if you're coming from the Model S and Model X and even Model 3 and Model Y is your energy display. Your energy display that used to be here, allowing you to be able to see what your projected range is going to be on a trip. So you have the trip monitor or trip meter or trip planner, I should say, that would show you the projected energy based on how you're driving and how that alters from the plan that the car initially set out on, as well as your range over time, over 30 miles or 100 miles or whatever the case may be. That icon and that widget used to be on the actual instrument panel, but right now there are no widgets on the instrument panel. Probably one of the biggest disappointments of this beautiful screen, of this beautiful instrument panel, is that there's no widgets there other than the mile an hour, as well as the autopilot icons that are there. But there are no widgets. The interchangeable widgets that you would have at the edges of the screen are no longer there. No clock, no tire pressure, no trip monitor, no energy display. You don't have that at all. So no energy display app at all so far. So you can't really tell. So the only way you can actually tell what your watt hours per mile are, what your efficiency is going to be, is just going in here and going into trips this way. And then you can sort of see what that average would be over the last trips that you've taken. So it's not really active. It's just sort of passive as you look at trips that you've already taken. All right. So that's missing, but that's where it is. Another thing that is missing, as I mentioned just a few seconds ago, is tire pressure. One of the things that we are very paranoid about riding around in 21-inch wheels, like on the Plaid and like on our previous P100D, is tire pressure. And even on our Model X, is tire pressure. And the idea is that we're riding in a metropolitan area, lots of potholes, lots of crazy debris on the road. Would love to have that tire pressure always visible so we can keep an eye on it. We can determine whether we're going to get a flat tire, whether we have a slow leak, and be able to see it constantly. It used to be on the widgets on the actual instrument panel. We can keep up all the time. But now that's not the case. So now we have to go into a scenario where we have to actually go in here, and we'll go into service. And in the service menu, it'll show you the tire pressure from that perspective. Okay, so again, extra button presses, 3 button presses to get to something that was always on display or could be always on display. Now, Tesla could obviously potentially add those widgets back to the screen at some point in time. Maybe they're just a little bit backlogged. And that's fine, that's great. But as of right now, as of this video, it's not there. And if you're looking for it, you might be disappointed that you might not be able to have it handy. Again, I'll show you some quick ways to get to this through the voice commands in the next couple of videos. But for now, this is what we have. Other than that, everything else is pretty familiar and pretty new. Being able to toggle these apps and being able to bring them down to where you want them to be, that's all cool and fine. Just something to note that the calendar, hopefully it stays up a little longer, the calendar, the messages, they're part of the phone app. So they're shortcuts for within the app. So in the phone app, it brings it up. I'm not going to bring it up now because it's got all the sensitive information in it. But the phone app comes up and you have tabs in there to go through messages, calendar, etc. It's all consolidated into one app. So you can access it with just the phone app. You don't necessarily need to have these unless these are something that you use very frequently. So just a little bit of tip there as far as where those menu items are. Another thing that's missing from the UI that we've noticed is the ability to have the charging information displayed, right? The charging information. Charging information used to have a little bit of a lightning bolt at the top that you could press and access charging information. You can't access that now. There's no charging app, as there is no energy display app, and there is no quick item, even in the menu item, for charging, right? Nothing's there. The only thing you would have to do is basically go to the charge menu and see what your state of charge is going to be. So again, 2 presses, menu and then charging, that comes up here. So this is where your charging information is going to be, where you can set your scheduling and all that good stuff right in the main menu, which is effectively where it was before, but there's no shortcut to it now. There's no quick button that you can get to it now. However, when you are charging or supercharging or whatever the case may be, there is a quick icon that comes up in this area that allows you to be able to quickly get to charging information if you have some apps. It's sort of a sticky icon that just stays there all the time, no matter what app you bring up, just so it's available to you so you can get to charging very quickly. Because again, there's no quick way to get to charging other than go into menu and then go into charging. All right. So far, just based on the few weeks that we've had this car and gotten familiar with the interface, those are some of the things that we found that are missing. All right. The last thing I wanted to point out, it's not really a menu item, but it's more of a steering wheel functionality or steering yoke functionality, is the lack of the ability to set your follow distance. If you're familiar with the Model S, you had the buttons on the wheel where you could use the scroll wheel to set your follow distance for autopilot. That's not the case right now. And what you have to do is go here. You have to go to autopilot and you have to now choose your set distance ahead of time. You can do it while you're driving as well, but you have to now go into the menu, 1 press, click autopilot, 2 press, and then you can actually toggle your follow distance from there. Again, this steering wheel is great, or steering yoke is pretty great. I really wish they would add some more functionality to these scroll wheels so that they could have functionality built right into them, and we can have that follow distance right on the wheel at a touch, because this takes your attention off the road, your eyes off the road, to have to find this first and foremost, and then be able to toggle the distance that makes sense for you. Okay. So just if you're trying to find out and get your way and get your bearings, here are some quick tips of what we found just so far in terms of where everything is, and how to access certain things. Again, I'll make another one on voice commands to hopefully make your life a lot easier. But let me know in the comments. Let me know if you found any additional items that are missing or hidden or not even included in this version of the software for the 2021 refresh Model S. Until the next time, enjoy your day, enjoy your Tesla.